What's going on, y'all? So listen. Let me get myself together, okay? Cause what y'all won't do is in this episode. Oh my god, I am so heartbroken. Yo, I was up here crying. Oh my god. Okay, okay. Oh, actually, get yourself together. It's just a fictional character, but baby, it was a beloved person. Like he. Okay, so we are here for the. Jesus Christ, how we get through this? We are here for the review for. First of all, how y'all doing? We are here for Greenleaf. Okay, Greenleaf season 5, episode 7, the seventh day. Okay, I hope I remember everything that happened because that ending just took me out. It just took me all the way out, you guys. Anyway, so we're gonna get into this episode. Ash, you gotta come back. Man up, man up, man up. I'm here, I'm here. Okay. Anyway, I'm a thug. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just okay. So the episode starts out. I am so sorry. I didn't know it was gonna get to be like this, y'all. Okay, because I wasn't expecting it. Bitch, Rox, you was right. Rox was right. Okay. Anyway, so the episode starts off with last week Fernando then showed up when Grace was trying to go to Darius' house and get and meet up with him, and he wasn't there. We trying to figure out where the heck Darius is at because Fernando popped up talking about something. You need to just stay out of it and all this stuff, and you need to watch your back and all this. I'm sitting here like, Fernando, what you talking about? What are you doing? What are you doing? You see how I snapped out of it for a second? So for y'all, yeah, okay, I gotta get y'all the real. I gotta get y'all the real. So then we see Grace at the beginning of this episode. She's going to the police station and she picking up Darius. I said, okay, cool. At least we can breathe a sigh of relief that Darius is still alive and with us. Okay, he is still amongst the living, And okay, but no, I was sitting here like, what happened? It was like, they claimed that they had PCP up in my system and I was doing all this stuff, resisting arrest or whatever. Girl, Bob and his people then played him and set him up to make it seem like he was doing all this other stuff or whatever. They did that, put him up in jail and all that stuff. So he getting his situation together and him and Grace, he already was talking about the future of them. They gonna get back together. We started later on in the episode. We knew that that's what it was coming to. Everybody was kind of saying that, well, some people were saying that Noah was kind of trying to get back with Grace. I don't think he was, okay? I think that ship has sailed, and he just never gave me them type of teas unless next week come up, which is the series finale. 8 episodes? Why, bitch? Give us 15. I remember when Greenleaf, like, one of these seasons, a couple of these seasons, used to be like 14 episodes. Is it because of the pandemic? Is that what it is? But anyway, moving on from that, she was like, you're not going to go straight home? He said no, because he's about to go meet up with that other family that said they can confirm the story about the facts about Bob Whitfield, playing around with the black folks, giving them money, and taking their mortgages and taking their homes because these subprime mortgages in London and stuff like that or whatever, playing the system and playing them, preying on the black poor people. You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, Grace got to go do what she got to go do. He gonna do what he gonna do. And she got to go meet up with Aaron, so that they can stop them from demolishing the church or whatever, because that's supposed to happen around 2 o'clock. But when Bob get there, and Bob hasn't even landed yet. Meanwhile, back at the house, we got Bishop, Lady May laying up in the bed. Bishop come up in there with like the little tray looking like he finna give her some breakfast and bread type of stuff. Girl, he opened up the little thing and it's a box. I said, oh shit. Okay. Go ahead, smooth operator. Give her what you want. Gave her a ring And it was a ring or whatever. I guess it was their old ring or whatever, because it served a lot of memories and stuff like that. And he was like, we can get married. She said, you know what, if you really want to get married, we have to be on one accord about this house, about Tara, about Rochelle, and Bishop is just not trying to hear that. Okay, it's not that she said no, but Bishop is like, can we just go ahead and do what we got to do and F them? Okay, we're not giving them this house. You're not going to get me to get on your side at this point. And Lady Mae was like, well, until that happens and you don't want to do that, we're not finna go ahead and get married. We're going to get married on Flag Day like we said we was. And she was like, Bishop was like, you know what? Took the ring back like a little, he pouted. That's what he was like, give me my shit back. Okay? The way T.I. took that necklace back from Nunu and ATL, that was the same way that Bishop took that ring back from May like that. I said, oh girl, you ain't have to do that. But she said, yes, I did, because what you won't do is you won't play me. Then we get this whole thing with Zora. Okay? Zora, girl, listen. The family is going through enough, and we ain't got time for your issues, okay? We ain't got time for you burdening the family with more bullshit, okay? I'm just saying, she up here trying to talk to Jacob, did you talk to cousin Camille about the guest room in Hoboken? Oh my God, I can't even believe that I said that. Girl, Hoboken, the greatness, the ugh. I said, girl, calm down, okay? Beggars can't be choosers. You're not putting in, you're not paying for anything, so, you should be able to take or be willing to take whatever they're going to give. She said her flight is about to leave tonight. And, he was like, your mama just left yesterday. So, you really want to try to do this? He said, cancel your flight. She was like, nah, because listen, I found a little apartment out there in Bushwick. It's just as small as an iPhone box. So it's big enough that can't no boys or nobody else come up in there. You know what I'm saying? And what you need to do, you need to, put a down payment on it right now, because that's when it's going to go away. Okay. He said, no, it ain't finna happen at this point. Let it the freak go. All right. Meanwhile, AJ is over at the house because he's supposed to be over there with Bishop to do the GTO. And if you notice, this is where I've noticed something was about to go wrong. Earlier in the season, when Bishop was talking to May about, that episode where they was talking about, and they made it clear that they was going to get married on Flag Day, he came back and she was like, he asked again, so what day we going to get married on? And she was like, don't you remember I said Flag Day? We should have known something was going to happen, because they kept on emphasizing the fact that he needed to go to the doctor. Last week, they kept on saying he needs to go to the doctor. This week, it all came to the goddamn head, and I'm upset about it, but we're going to get past it, okay? We're going to get through it, I should say. He's standing there talking to AJ. AJ happy to be over there. He's glad that AJ is there, but then he has trouble remembering the reason why AJ was there. He blanked out for a second, and I said, oh no, he got dementia? He got the Alzheimer's, and that ain't funny. That is sad and scary to have, either or, And so he was like, okay, cool, meet me in the stables or whatever so we can do this unboxing, all right? Meanwhile, Harmony and Hope, they're about to come on ahead and they at the demolition site of the Calvary. It's people out there protesting or whatever a little bit. You got Judy and Phil out there. Judy talking about oh my God, can we just tear down something? Jeez, can we demolish something? And then, they was like, no. And Fernando was with him too. Fernando like, yeah, no, we can't do that because your dad ain't here. He wants to be here because I think he got an announcement or something like that. One of them said that. And at this point, Aaron and Grace shows up, and basically saying that y'all not about to tear down nothing. We have an injunction by the board, by the judge or whatever, saying that you can't tear down this this church yet, because when City on the Hill brought Jacob and Carissa's land, they never disclosed to them that they was part of H&H. Okay? And when that wound up happening, Fernando said, no, they very much knew that I was with H&H. It was like, I can tell you for sure that Jacob did not know that you was with H&H, because he would not have signed the land over. Oh, Fernando got cocky and said, but his wife did. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that she did. And she enjoyed it, okay? When she signed over on the stuff, she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it immensely. I said, see, Carissa, bitch. And people want to understand, want to know why we can't stand Carissa and we go so hard on Carissa. This is why, okay? It ain't because we on Jacob's side. It's because her past deeds and the current deeds, fuck up deeds that she's doing is fucking up the family. Like, girl, you really just came through and just messed us all up, okay? And so they had to go home and tell them what was going on or whatever. Jacob had to call Carissa and see, did she really know about this? She over there playing with Winky ass up in the goddamn park, and she was like, sorry, Jacob. He said, ain't this about a bitch? I said, Carissa. Now, girl, I thought she was going to lie. Okay, y'all remember, Fernando was fucking Carissa. Okay, Fernando was fucking the shit out of her on the desk. Okay, and she couldn't get enough, and she knew exactly what she was doing when she signed over to Hope and Harmony. She found out that it was Hope and Harmony, and she still went on ahead and signed that check, and she had a smile on her face when she did it. Go back last season and look at it. Was it last season or season 3? No, it was last season. Go back and look at it. Okay, she did that shit. All right, and in return, that man gave you chlamydia. Okay, you did all that with a smile on your face and came home with chlamydia, girl. Girl, it wasn't worth it. No, you lost your whole damn family. Okay, why? Girl, it was just a lie. I was just like, girl, we're not finna do this. Okay, we're not about to do this. So then, Bishop is in the AJ is in the the stables or whatever with the little GTO. And he was just looking concerned or a little lost or whatever. They get into, like, I really just want to get to the main parts of this episode because, it's just weighing heavily on me. I really want to talk about it. But, these little scenes, I do love the scenes between AJ and the bishop having these little bonding moments. All right, he was bonding over this crate, over this this car, and then the bishop asking, has he ever went to church? And he didn't go to church much. And do you want to get saved? And he was like, how do you do that? He was like, all you have to do is say this one particular prayer. Girl, I paused and I looked up and I said, so to get saved, all you have to do is say a prayer. That's it. That's the process. Is that what it is? Because every time y'all say, I be like, saved from what? I mean, y'all still girl. No shade to whoever believed. Well, I ain't gonna say whoever believed that, but I just never understood the process of what it meant to be saved because I didn't go to church. So I grew up with Jehovah's Witnesses. We studied Christianity, but we didn't study that part, being saved. Okay, is it like when you get baptized or whatever? Because in the Jehovah's Witnesses they get baptized as well when they're ready and you fully understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And you can apply it to your life. Is that what it means? Is that what it means when you get baptized? Girl, y'all put it down in the comments and educate me on some stuff, okay? One day I'm gonna go to a church and I'm gonna go sit down and try to take it in and see what it's all about. I really am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be like, so this is what happened, my experience, okay? Point me to the right direction. And so they was going over all that stuff and he was just giving him some kind words of wisdom. And like I said, I love their bond. One of the turning points in this episode was when Noah popped up to talk to Grace and she was like, what's going on? Because he popped up when she was at at Calvary. Okay. After Fernando had her looking stuck and dumb, okay, because of Carissa ass, you know what I'm saying? Aaron then popped up and was like, girl, I gotta tell you something. Listen, I done got in touch with the caretaker. I said, what caretaker? Now they did say earlier in an earlier episode that Miss Davis was white. Okay, he was like, when they found out that the caretaker was white, we found out that Miss Davis was white in the same episode in the same breath. I was like, oh, I forgot that. I'm so glad they replayed that in the preview for the what happened in the previous episode at the beginning of the new episode. So they go over there to the caretaker house, white guy, and he's giving us all these deeds. Okay, listen. Daryl James used to come over there to the house all the time. And I used to wonder why he was always over there, okay? It used to be strange a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But he always coming over there and he used to talk down to her, whatever, telling her what she needs to do and telling her this and Jen screaming at her. And they used to get into it and I'm like, how are you, a black man, coming over here talking to this white woman like this, okay? Because it's back in the day or whatever, segregation and all this stuff. And, it probably was the 1960s, 1950s and all this stuff or whatever. Okay, and so at this point, they trying to understand what's going on. Do you think it was a sexual relationship that was going on? Girl, the caretaker said, I hope the hell it wasn't. Girl, Noah said, why you say it like that? Is it because he was a black man? He was like, no, that ain't it. Cause that's what I thought at first too. Okay. Now see, some of y'all was saying it was Bob, all right? That Bob was her son. Wrong bitch, okay? Wrong bitch, it was James. He was like, listen, I shouldn't tell it, but she dead and gone now, so I guess it won't hurt nobody. She told me that that's his son. That was her son. I said, girl, one revelation out the box, okay? So y'all just gonna start it off like this, huh? Yeah, they said we gonna give it to you. Chuck, okay? And so at this point, Bishop and Charity sitting in the living room. They looking at the TV where Bob is talking about Bob Whitmore suspecting to come over there to Calvary and announce his run for Senate. Okay, and then here comes Lady Mae trying to understand what's going on, what's happening, and they trying to explain to her what's happening or whatever, and They was like, he's pure unmitigated evil. That's what Bishop said about Bob. And Lady Mae was like, don't say that about him. She was like, wait a minute, so now you on his side? No, I'm just saying, God created him, so therefore God didn't create that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what God did. I said, I understand what you're saying, Lady Mae. But that's Satan work, what he doing, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's Satan's influence, okay? If you want to get all biblical, okay? That's some demons going on through there, And at this point, Grayston came in and threw off the news, okay? She said, listen, Davis, that was Daryl's mama. That was Daryl James' mama. Okay? And so that's the reason why this house was left to him. You know what I'm saying? And so now at this point, Charity is just so complex. Okay? She's just so over it. She was like, I'm gonna go to the church. I don't know what I'm about to do, but I'm gonna go to the church and I'm about to do something. Meanwhile, we got Zora all up in Sophia's room trying to convince Sophia to move to New York with her. And basically, let me tell you something. Zora, girl, sometimes I don't know whether to like you or whether to be like, girl, you dumb as hell and you a user. At this point in time, like, I wouldn't use my cousin like that, especially if she's my favorite cousin and all that stuff. I'm not gonna use her and get in trouble, whatever. She want Sophia to ask Grace for the money. Oh, don't she still got the money from Lionel or whatever? She got a lot of money and all this stuff. I said, excuse you, Miss Lady, okay, just because your daddy said no, why don't you come up with the money? You want this. You're an adult, technically speaking, okay? I don't see you up here trying to go get no job, nowhere to help, take care of yourself, okay? But you want to mooch and looch off of everybody else and leech off everybody else? Girl, no, okay? And then want Sophia to come down there so that Grace can be the one paying for the stuff. She said, girl, you just doing this to use me? She was like, no. I mean, partly yes, but I'm for real. I said, Sophia, she ain't gonna do it. She ain't gonna do it. Meanwhile, Lady Mae that had Bishop that had said, call Tara and Latoya to bring her ass Rochelle over here. And so they sit down there. Mind you, Lady Mae had a conversation with Tyra earlier at the house talking about this whole situation. I'm so tired of them having meetings about this house. I said, girl, if y'all gonna give the house up, give the house up, okay? And at this point in time, they already had this issue. Tyra talking about she just want to do what's right. Girl, Rochelle, on the other hand, she just want victory, okay? This is the conversation that Lady Mae and Tyra had with each other. Now, Bishop then called Tyra and Rochelle over there basically so that they can let them know, listen, so what happened was we found out that Miss Loretta Davis was possibly your grandmammy, and we're gonna have to do some little blood tests, and 9 out of 10 that this house probably is yours. You can take the house if you want to. If it comes out to it, we'll let it go. That's basically what I got out of it. But everything was going smooth, even though it took a lot out of Lady Mae to say that out her mouth. You know what I'm saying? Up until Rochelle said, girl, don't nobody want this house. That wasn't what it was, okay? All I want is the truth about you murdering my daddy. Girl, that had Bishop hot, okay? You're gonna stop this. I said, oh, you know what? Bishop has this moment that makes me go, oh, you know what I'm saying? He's an older gentleman. You could tell. Keith Washington, that's his name. Did I say Keith David Washington? Is that his whole name? But I know it's Keith Washington. Girl, you know he was fine back in his day. Okay, he's a good looking man right now. You know what I'm saying? You know he was playing women back in his day. You can't tell me no difference because I probably would have did the damn same. But anyway, so everything was going, they having this little whole discussion. Bishop is getting pissed off. Meanwhile, Jacob then brought his butt downstairs and told them about, Charity then sent out this email, okay, telling the parishioners of the church to come down to Calvary because, some truth is about to be said, putting out there about Bob, playing everybody and, what he did with Edenvale lending, okay? And like over 100 people was there and they keep coming in by the foot, you know what I'm saying, every hour, and so they finna go down there to the church and see what's going on. Meanwhile, hold on, let me get there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure I get everything. Darius and Jake, what's her name? Darius and Grayston linked up. He told her all the stuff that they done told the family done told him about this whole situation with the Edenvale lending loan that they had and how they came in. If they was to miss a payment, they was gonna come in and take the house or whatever. They wasn't sure if it was Gladys that came to the door, but they wouldn't be surprised and all that stuff. Meanwhile, they got to go down there to the church. You got Bob down there at the church trying to refute these claims or whatever. Charity sitting in that front row like, bitch, I wish you would. You can go ahead and say what you got to say, but no, it ain't gonna stick, baby. It ain't gonna stick, okay? And basically, they asking questions in the audience about like, why would people say this about you? Was you going after black folks and all this stuff? He trying to make it seem like he wasn't doing that and all that shit. They calling him out or whatever. And at this point, Grace and Darius walked through and was like, listen, 100%, mostly almost 100% of your customers was black. He was like, how would I know that? I wasn't going out trying to attack black folks or whatever. It wasn't their target and all this shit, whatever. Woo, woo, woo. Girl, Darius said, well, how come 200 and something out of 300 were all black? 294 out of 300 was all black, okay? That's what it was, boo-boo. We know what the deal is. Now, the church is up in a roar, okay? They like, what? And it was like, and you used Gladys DeMars to do it, okay? Her name is on everything. And at this point, Phil is sitting there like, ain't this about a bitch? Ain't this some shit? And I said, you should have listened to Charity. Charity wasn't doing that trying to get back at you. She was doing that so she was trying to tell you the truth, okay? And so at this point, Phil get up and he was like, listen, Gladys was my mama, and there was times, where I kind of figured out and was wondering what it was that she was doing as her job. She never told me. And when she was on her deathbed, she just said she hoped God forgive her, and I never understood what that meant. She never told me. So now I understand exactly what it is. Now I see you for who the hell you really are, Bob. He was like, bitch, are you coming to say talk to me? He was like, boy, if you don't get out of my face. And he looked over there to Judy. He said, Judy, give me my goddamn ring. Give me my mother's ring. What? What? I said, girl, get your frail ass up and slip that ring off your goddamn finger, bitch. You don't deserve it. And she threw the shit on the floor. I said, you know what? The Holy Ghost held his hand. Because if I probably would have popped that bitch, okay? You're not going to disrespect. You already disrespecting me in the fact that you forced me to marry this bitch, okay? But then you going to throw my ring, my mama's ring on the floor? Bitch, please, okay? Bob trying to say what it is and trying to put the blame on, bring the bishop up in there, basically saying that he played y'all. He, was doing all this wrong stuff for y'all or whatever. So you trying to turn the attention on the bishop, not knowing that the bishop was going to come up in there and just set the whole place on fire, okay, with some truth. Because he told Rochelle, you want to know the truth? Come down to the church with us. He got up there and basically said, okay, so this whole thing about this house, I didn't know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? The lawyer that we had, which was Mac, told us to go ahead and get the house, okay? He basically saying, Mac set all this shut up. I had no idea that, Daryl James was in conjunction with connection with Miss Loretta. I didn't know nothing about this house. I was told to just go forth and get the house. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point they was trying to give Tara, like 10 acres or whatever, 10 blocks of land, acres of it. And she was like, girl, Rochelle wouldn't go for that. But at this point, he just got up there confessing all his sins and, showing how he was repenting. And at this moment, as he's bearing his soul about how, he just got a piece of the pie and he just kept on getting some more and more, and his sight got blinded, and at this point, you got Corinne, because he was like, I failed y'all, Corinne steps up and she was like, no, you taught us this and you was there for us and you showed us the way and all this stuff. It was this outpouring of love and they respected it. He was confessing all of his sins or whatever and what he felt at that moment, that he was his shortcomings as a pastor. And I was like, that was very big of him, and at that moment, I should have known that something was about to happen, because it's always that in a show or a movie where they all of a sudden, especially if they're older, something is going to happen when all of a sudden they start confessing their, trying to make right with people before they go. And I was just sitting here like, it didn't click until the end. And I was just like, that don't make no sense. And then it was so much foreshadowing at this point because of him confessing his sins or whatever, the congregation being there for him, Bob and Judy leaving, but guess who stayed? That bitch Connie stayed. I said, oh, so now you finally finna be on the right side, huh? Then, Charity bust out singing Amazing Grace, and I was like, oh no. Oh no, okay. Mind you, this whole thing about Bishop talking about being saved and, doing all of this stuff or whatever. And I'm just like, now I'm thinking back on it, and I said foreshadowing, okay? That's what was going on in this episode. Next thing you know, we see Grace trying to get a hold of Rochelle and saying, are we done? She was like, look girl, we done, because all I wanted was the truth, and I finally got the truth. And she was like, look girl, let me tell you something. I know it was you that gave Noah AJ Noah's number or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I sure did. Just to show you that you ain't, your shit ain't clean. It was like, God would send us stuff, to see ourselves in many different ways, all right? Because she was like, you tried to make it seem like it was going to be a bad thing, but it turned out to be a blessing. And she was like, okay, girl. Now, when Rochelle walked out that door, I guess that was the last that we was going to ever see of her because of the blinding lights and the way that she walked out into the blinding lights, and we saw her no more, okay? Meanwhile, Charity walking through the hall, and here come Phil. Charity, can I talk to you tomorrow? I said, Charity girl, I know you desperate for a man, and I know your heart been broken or whatever. If you go back to this man, you dumber than I thought. Charity said, let me tell you something. No man, not even my ex-husband, has ever broke my heart as much in the way that you have. I would never ever, I would be stupid enough to trust you, and I will never trust you again with my heart. So you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I did this for you so that you can see the light, but as far as us, it's over and it's done. And I'm glad that you saw the light, but us, it's over and done. I said, you know what, Charity? Yes. Yes. Okay. Meanwhile, Sophia done gone up in there, and she up there. She was about to try to talk to Grace about because Grace was out there in the car acting like she was a teenager with Darius. They had them a little moment. They was kissing all up in the car, and Darius was like, I just want you to come up over to my house. She was like, damn, you know what, I would, but Sophia needed to talk to me or whatever. I said, Grace, no. You see that man? He fine and he ready, and you ready too, okay? Sophia News can wait. Girl, she went over there to talk to Sophia. Sophia was like, listen, now I know she was about to talk to her about the whole Zora situation and moving to New York or whatever, but she was like, I know Zora done told you. I know you kind of upset about Dante, them pictures that I sent Dante or whatever, and I'm sorry about that. She said, what pictures? What you talking about? Zora asked and lied to Sophia. I said, girl, she know which button to hit. Okay? And then we get to the end of the episode. Lady Maiden got all did up. She got her little Christian lingerie on. You know, she spraying herself, trying to make her smell good. And she was like, James, let me just tell you this. We can go ahead and get married tomorrow, okay? What was I thinking about trying to get married on Flag Day? Mind you, James is sitting on the bed just like this. We only saw one side of his face. And then when that camera pose turned around to him in the front and I saw his face, I said, oh my God, he is stroking out at this point. His one side is this way. It was lopsided. One eye is closed. He like this and everything. And one side of the mouth couldn't open. I was just like, oh my God, no, you are not going to do this. I sat there um, for the last 3 minutes. I was sitting there like this with tears coming out my eyes. Tears was just coming out my eyes. I just couldn't take it. I was like, no, because I wasn't expecting it. You know, even though I look at Rox, Forest Rox reviews. If you know Rox, okay, everybody should know Rox by now. I say her all the time. Go look at her reviews when it pop up too. I look at her reviews and she said something about it's a possibility that he might pass away. And then I said, I kind of put it out of my mind because I ain't want that to be true. I was like, girl, that ain't going to happen. Girl, Rox was right. Okay. He was like, I need something to write. Okay. He was going like this. Imagine he was sitting there reading the Bible. I think he was reading the Bible. Okay. Grace May get on the phone and she called 911 and she gives him a pen and he writes in the Bible, I do. And then she was like, I do what? I do what? And I think he mumbled, love you or something like that. And she was like, it's going to be okay. She's going to be okay. The fact that he was still sitting up straight was getting to me. I was like, okay, maybe it's hope. But as soon as he started to lean back, I said, no, he gone. He gone. We lost another real one. Last week, it was Miss Ethel on the Shy. This week, it was Bishop on Greenleaf. Why are they doing this to us? He cleared his conscience and he went out like a sheep. Anyway, y'all, that was Greenleaf. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about this. Y'all know I love the episode and it got to me because this review is long. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Rest with our Heavenly Father, Mr. Greenleaf. I'll see y'all later.